So this is my 66 plate Citroen Relay, medium wheelbase 130 brake. It's got 11 months MOT that it passed with no advisories at the end of September. It's got bonded windows on the near side, front and back. I'll show you those from the inside. Electric hookup point is just hidden just under there. Out the way, I didn't want any of the points being visible. There's a tiny little mark, a tiny little dent just here on the side sliding door, but it's barely noticeable. I sprayed the van wheels black just as a bit of a contrast. Just round the front, there's a little dink on the bonnet here, a few stone chips. Probably, if I was going to keep it just to make it perfect, I'd probably respray that. And then on the near side we've got a bonded window again, and that's the opening one above the kitchen. Tiny little mark just here on the door, tiny little dent, barely noticeable, but it is there. And then just on this side, I'm trying to show you, behind a little panel, again I didn't want the gas point to be visible, so I just hid it behind there. So that's the gas filler point that you can use from the petrol station. So you just ping that off with a key and then just click it back on. So inside, just working around the van. So the near side sliding door with the bonded window. It's got fitted blackout curtains on the rail, it's got on both sides. And then moving forward, I should say the van, it's fully sound deadened. It was insulated, lined with foil before it was carpeted. Smoke alarm and carbon monoxide detector in there. It's got an MPK skylight that was fitted, that's got fitted fly screen in it, and blackout blind as well. You can see that really. It's got the cab curtains again, thermal blackout curtains in the front. It's got an overhead, turn the camera that way, overhead storage cupboard up here that I'm just using for cups and saucers and whatnot. Obviously got the bonded window on this side, and this is the opening one that opens and locks in 2 or 3 positions. Again with the curtains. In terms of the kitchen, down on this side, Smev treble 2 with the Comet tap, and obviously the gas on that side. Nice little socket on top there. Space at the minute just for the whatever fridge I decide to put in. The only things that are missing at the minute are the fridge and the water tanks that are currently being made underneath. Obviously the water tanks are ready to connect here. They'll be done when they arrive. Obviously just got storage in here. Got the water pump ready to fit just in the cupboard here. So these are just the cables ready to connect up the water pump to the tap, and this one is ready to connect up the fridge. And there's an extra socket in there in case you decide to get a 240 volt fridge. You can plug straight into that socket as well. They just need tidying up those cables. Just got your units up on top here, the control for the diesel heater, and then all your 12 volt connections here and your USB sockets on there as well. It's just taped on at the minute. I didn't want to glue it on until everything, all the electrics, the tap and everything, until all the 12 volts were fully connected up. I wanted to just be able to ping this panel off just so I could get to the back of them, although there is another way to get to the back of them. I'll show you in a sec. And then everything down here in the bench seat it's all, by the way, this is Moreland lightweight plywood that I've used, it's got the little push button catches on it. And then inside the bench seat, got all your bits and pieces. Leisure battery in here, split charge relay, fuse box, the 240 volt and the 12 volt run side by side. There's no inverter at the minute, but you could add one if you wanted to. The electric kit from a company called Rain Automotive, it came as a full kit, so I haven't just wangled a kit together. You send them a design and they just come back and wire, give you a full kit, the wiring loom and everything, the whole thing done. It's got some bits in there, just my hookup cables, and then under here is the diesel heater, Chinese version. This is hooked up to the van's fuel tank. So I took the tank off and put a stand pipe into the fuel tank, so you never have to refill that. As long as you've got fuel in the tank, you can run that. It's a 5 kilowatt version, and it's really warm within a couple of minutes in here, obviously being a small-ish van. And then just in here, got the just the emergency Thetford toilet. And then just onto the back of the van. This is all lined with, it's rubber actually, it's not metal, it's rubber, 5-bar design, so it's dead easy to wipe down, but obviously it weighs half as much as the metal stuff. Behind the garage walls here, just here, this is a metal frame. It's a metal A-frame that's bolted to the side of the van, just using these bolts here, the eyelet hooks, so you can quite easily take those off. But that's the metal bed frame. And then across here, the bed base is in 3 pieces. I've got that in my garage, and then I have a full-size mattress, 8 inches, quite comfortably fits on top of there. Obviously I use this for my motorbike, so when I'm not travelling away, I can just take the bed out and you can easily get a motorbike, push bikes, whatever you want into the back of the garage quite easily. And the motorbike still goes in, you just have to slide it under once the bed's in. And then this is another window, obviously 2 windows from the outside on the near side. This is just an insulated panel that I've made and popped in, and that just pops out, so you have got another window there. That's quite nice, so when you're on the bed, you can just pop that out in the morning, look out of the window at whatever view, wherever you've parked up, which works quite nice. I keep this panel in, obviously, with my motorbike in the back of the van a lot of the time. I just wanted to keep that hidden from prying eyes, so I just pop that panel in there. And then the last thing at the back, obviously I did mention the gas hookup on the outside. You can fill that up with LPG from the petrol station, and I've just made this with a little cabinet here just on the end. These are quite tight, but the idea is to keep it airtight really. It's tight, that one. Right, I haven't had to loosen that one off with a screwdriver because I couldn't get it out. So this is made quite snug, obviously to try and keep it airtight. So you got the gas low, 2.7 bottle in there, obviously feeds through the side of the van through the regulator like it should do, and then links to the SMEV underneath. And you can access the back of the 12 volt electrics in there as well. And I suppose last thing to mention, most of the bits have been made to come off in the van so you can get to them. So the lights up at the top, They're all, I made them into panels so that, oh, you can see my hand there. So these will literally pop off. They're held on by magnets. So if you need to get off and get at the lights to change them or adjust the wiring, you can do. Similarly, all the wires for the lights run down behind these panels in the top. These all come off. This panel here, that's a removable panel. Again, all magnetised on. So the wiring, let's move my hand out of the way. My wiring runs behind and down here. So if you just pull this insulation out here, this is the only bit that's not been foil taped, to be fair. This section here, so you can get the wiring. So for example, if you wanted to add a solar panel up onto the roof, you literally pop this middle panel off, drill through the wires. You can then get into the rib of the van, feed your wires down here, down there, into the back of the unit, and then through and back into here where all your electrics are. So I made it so you could take the panels off the van, so if you wanted to change it and add things, or you needed to get things to service them, you could do. The beauty of strong magnets.